you started. No use in running away. Mr. Panting said you got it.
Yeah, you got that, and it feels so good to be on track. Even when you fall down, ain't no other way around. Your success is determined by your bounce back. Dream.
Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Avas Casual Chat and Teens with Dreams, as we are combining our shows for the big game day today, so everybody can get out and get home and all that good stuff. We are on HamiltonRadio.net. I am your host, Ava Holly, along with host Mr. Panting from Teens with Dreams and Mr. Panting Productions. We want to send a big shout out to our sponsor, International Hall of Fame radio host, Jerry Petito. Woo!
Is my mic on? Yeah.
Yeah, you're on, baby. What do we want to say about Jerry? My favorite thing.
Jerry, we love you.
We love you, Jerry, is that, you know those things with the crowns and they say keep calm and whatever? Yeah. And there's one out there that says keep calm and let Jerry handle it. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite one. So welcome, everybody. We are here at HamiltonRadio.net, and we are here the first Sunday of every month. And we have with us today Mosheh and Ruben Castillo. Am I saying it right?
Castillo.
Castillo.
Yep. The L is like a Y. So in English. So yeah, and the I is like an
Hispanic?
E. Yeah, I'm Peruvian.
Oh, okay.
Peruvian, Italian, Irish, Japanese. Oh,
my
no
God.
longer
What
Japanese.
else?
Yeah, I'm League of Nations.
You mixed.
Yeah, French, Dutch, you name it. It's
While
all
you're
there.
on the mic, Ruben, tell us what you do, who you are, where you're from. Well, you did the where you're from.
What do I do? I do a lot. So I'm an award-winning tribute artist, Elvis tribute artist. I hail from Brick, New Jersey, originally from Toms River, New Jersey. So if you remember the Toms River thing. But I also work as an MC at Boogie Nights in Tropicana over in Atlantic City. And that's in Atlantic City. And I also own a company called Unplugged Entertainment, which I do tribute shows and educational Elvis shows. So it's a lot of fun. That's what I do. And my day job, I work as a marketing and fundraising coordinator for the Center for Vocational Rehabilitation, and that's in Eatontown. So
You think you have enough things to do?
I got more stuff.
Oh, I
than
know.
that.
Don't we all wear all these hats all the time? It's crazy,
it's
right?
crazy, yeah.
But did we have this conversation before that I grew up in Toms River also?
No.
I grew up in Toms River.
Oh, whereabouts?
In Seaside. My father was a pioneer there.
Okay.
I ran my father's businesses there for years with my
Wow.
sister. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about
We'll
that
have to
later.
talk Toms River.
Cool. And Moshe,
Hi.
you want to tell us a little bit about
Hi, my name is Mosheh.
Come close to the
get
mic
close
so
to the
everybody can hear you.
I live in Atlantic County.
Don't be shy. It's not going to bite you.
Only you will.
Well, that depends on the day.
The time of day. Anyway, I'm involved in a company called Neuro and Trained Sciences, LLC. We have a device in the health and wellness field. It looks like a chair. It actually is shaped like a beach chair. And then we have it retrofitted so we can put you in what they call zero gravity position, much like on the beach, but it uses sound, light, and vibration to take your mind, your body through a voyage into relaxation. And the beautiful part about it is you're not being touched. It's what we call a sonic massage. So there's nothing. It's not like the machines at other places where you feel like you're being kneaded like dough or whatever on your body physically. Nothing is touching you at all, but you do feel the vibrations. And the lights are LED lights, and it works with the hemispheres of the brain and different types of sounds. So it's just a really good feeling.
You've been in the chair before, right?
Amazing.
You like
Amazing.
it? Oh, I know. I love it. Oh my.
I've been there like 10 times.
Oh my God. When you were over at Stockton, that was like the best, because now like the chair's been updated a little over the years, right? That was the absolute best. I loved it.
I'm fortunate through the last name is Mr. Wakeman over in student development. He invited me to come back, so I'm usually there the last week of classes, and it's open for students, faculty, or staff to use for stress and anxiety relief.
So do you do the last week even during like the spring break or
No, not
winter
the break itself. No, it's the last week of classes,
So, but
per
before
semester.
the spring break or the
No, before the end of the
That's
semester,
what I was
right?
thinking.
For finals?
Right before finals. And that's usually the
I've
most
been there.
stressful time because that's when papers are due. Some
yeah.
classes they don't do finals,
Yeah.
tests. They'll do finals the week of the last week of classes, that kind of stuff. So it's a real stressful time. And they'll use a chair and then possibly go back to whatever they were doing before that. And I've said to people who do work which requires a lot of concentration that here's an opportunity to go back, to go in the chair, relax, go back and do the work you were on before, and with a different set of eyes, but it's your own. So it really makes things much easier.
Cool. And Mr. Panting, so tell the viewers, that may not know about us, tell them what you do, who you are. I'll do same.
I do everything.
Right? Where's
I'm
those
a
hats?
full-time. I'm a full-time painter. Work part-time my business, videography. In March, I'm gonna be working in this film, shooting this film. I don't know much about it yet, but my old high school teacher has a production crew, Willie Nelson, so he has a lot of connections with that. So he hit me up and said that he needed me for a couple of days for shooting a movie. So that'll be pretty cool.
And that's where you want to concentrate in film, right?
Yeah.
Moving
Yep.
forward.
Yep.
So, my name is Ava, and most of you.
I
know
love
me,
making
those
money,
that-
too.
that- right? Those of you that don't know me, it's Ava Holly.
Right? That's what we all need.
Yeah.
Right? So I run a company called 4A Star, and we're an umbrella company over the entertainment industry. We do model management, talent management, work with indie authors, and special event planning. And Marco and I have teamed up on a lot of projects together. So
I do a lot of the photography. I
Yeah.
just shoot her models.
yeah.
Don't shoot
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
shoot their models,
Come out to
but I shoot them
There's
with
a
the
special
camera.
place for you.
We'd like to.
Yeah.
Don't say that on the
No,
show. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The 911 police.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to get into a discussion about, well, for me, it's the 3 R's for 2020, and it's revamp, revise, rejuvenate, and repair. So revise, revamp, same thing. Rejuvenate and repair. So I want to talk a little bit, especially for the young people watching today, about failures and how we deal with that, because we've all, the saying, fail yourself forward. You're only good one more time as you get up when you fall.
Right.
How do you guys handle, when something happens? What do you do to push through it? What's your favorite thing to do? Do you run? Like, I know Marco likes to run, so you can talk a little bit about that. It alleviates the stress. What do you do when something doesn't go the way you planned it? And, how do you
Oh,
keep
I can say something that happened to me. Then.
Yeah.
So you know what happened to me in the gym. So I went to the gym with my friend, right? So I want to give a shout out to my friend. He's only 23 years old, and he has a painting company. And whoever needs a painter, he's real good with that. It's called Garden State Painting. Yeah, he's real good with that. So I went to the gym with him the other day, and he's having me doing I ran for like 30 minutes, right, in the machine, right, and whatever
Treadmill?
the
Yeah,
treadmill.
yeah.
And I'm running and running and running, so I'm fine and everything. Then he goes me to do some weights, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this, but I did it. You know what I mean? And so then he takes me to do like the bicycle and all that exercise. So he has me like jumping and doing sit-ups and everything. Once I know I did every exercise he told me to do. I did it, but the last one I couldn't. I blacked out for like 30 minutes.
Wow.
All I know is I was talking to him and then I just fell on the floor and I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
pushing your body?
Literal.
That was my Friday night.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Oh my gosh. So what about you, Moshe? What do you? I know you like to run, right?
I like running. I feel like it gives it takes my stress away. It's like it helps me.
Yeah, I like to walk. I do the same thing, but
In
most-
sales, one of the things they tell us is when you get a rejection, that's one step closer towards success because there's a proportion of all these things together that helps you make it in the area you're focusing on. So when I get a rejection, I don't look upon it. I try to I overanalyze like everyone else or like most people, but I try to take that in stride to know that if I don't go out there and take the shot, then I have no shot at all. So, but
that's true.
I happen to enjoy doing things, whether it be walking, And lately I've been doing, in fact, the doctor referred to as heavy gardening because I've been raking so many leaves, and I don't use a leaf blower. I use an actual rake to rake the leaves with the bags. And over at the service
That's
store.
nice. That's a workout.
Yeah, I was just saying, over at the service store, they know me well from all the bags I keep buying. Oh, you came back for another 15 bags, huh? It's that kind of,
Wow.
that kind of thing. So, I think to be honest with you, we found with others, the chair really is effective. I was fortunate enough about 7 weeks ago to be at military base at Fort Dix to put reservists on. My friend, there's a organization there called FRG, which helps the families of reserves with gifts for various issues, and I was invited as it relates to them to be there. And one of the reservists who was in the unit referred to the acronym COSC, COSC, watched others on the chair and talked about how he saw them responding and how they could benefit from an overall as part of treatment. So in terms of being down, going on into the system like that can be helpful for people. So that's what I've tried to do with others who are going through various circumstances.
Cool. Yeah, we're talking, going back to the quotes, there's a famous basketball quote, you miss 100% of the shots you never take, right?
True.
So it's
Well,
for your audience too. It's so important to have somebody to talk to if you're following a dream and maybe it's not going the way you wanted to. It's just a stepping stone to the next thing. I know we're all going through something right now, and it's just a stepping stone to the next thing.
Unfortunately, if you watch me play basketball, I miss 100% of the shots I do take. So.
Wow.
Well, you're short too. No, I'm kidding.
She
go
called
there.
you short.
All right.
So,
We're going
Ruben,
there
tell
now.
us about your educational program. I was really interested about that when you were here last time. talking about it.
Sure. Well, I want to go back to about falling because
Yeah.
I literally fell.
Oh man.
This is
Up or down?
down.
Falling up is
Yeah.
bad too.
I was performing at the Halloween show at Boogie Nights back in 2018. I just started back in June. And they hired me to do the role of Eddie, which was in Rocky Horror. And we had these dance, essentially platforms, cubes that were pretty high up. And I jumped off of one of them. And I was doing that before when I was an MC, but I jumped off and I was wearing boots that I had never worn before. And I ruptured my ACL. I had a torn meniscus. Lateral sprains on both sides. Long story short, I was a mess. And so last February 28th, I actually had surgery on my knee and all that stuff. But it took that time, it was like, I felt like it was a little bit like God telling you, it was almost like my ego was telling me, hey, you can jump, you're going to be a superstar and all that kind of stuff. And when I fell, it was like God saying, hey, you know what? Look what happened. Here's your ego, and now you're down on the ground. And so it took a little bit of rebuilding, and I was able to get back up again. And even better now, even stronger. As far as an entertainer is concerned. As far as the educational program with Elvis, it's called Elvis Unplugged, and really we take small periods of Elvis's life from 1954 or 1953 to 1977. It was the years that he performed in, or sang music in, or recorded music in. And what I do is I end up talking about not only of Elvis's history, but also the history that happened during the time that he lived in. And I performed the music that he performed only in those eras. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually did a show up in the Livingston Library up in Livingston, New Jersey, and we did it from, the show is called The King Returns to Camelot, and everything is from 1960 to 1963. And it's only the music that he recorded during that time. And it was really interesting. So we had talks about, Martin Luther King, about the JFK shooting. It was interesting because I have not done that show in about a year. And I didn't. Usually, what happens when I talk about 1963, and especially about or any assassinations with like Dr. King or JFK, all of a sudden I get these chills down my spine. It's happening right now, and so it comes up with the screen because it's all PowerPoint. And I perform the music as well too, and I look at the PowerPoint, and all of a sudden I see JFK's body going in the casket. We do a video of it. and I just started tearing up. And I'm like here in front of 160 senior citizens, and I'm tearing up. And my friend sees me, my friend Eric, who's doing the sound for me, and he was like almost like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "I have no idea what just hit me." And so, but it's a real fun program. We have a lot of fun and discussing all the topics, and people learn a lot. It's almost like a little bit of a remember when for some older individuals, but it's also a great learning tool and for kids and teenagers and college students and just anyone in general who wants to know more about world history and U.S. history. And always at the end of the show, I do a thing saying, "What did we learn?" And I show images of what happened today and what happened yesterday. And it's really interesting because a lot of times we are repeating the same exact history.
Do you have another one coming up? Do you have one coming up?
We don't have one coming up. I'm doing starting to do my booking again. Like I said, it took that year to it took a year for me to like really rejuvenate and get my body in shape. I'm starting to lose weight more and go into different ventures, but within Unplugged Entertainment. So we're looking at getting more libraries, more educational institutions to do these shows at, and the libraries, I love it. Patrons are big fans. So yeah.
Do you do the local libraries by us?
All local libraries. I can,
in Atlantic County?
If they want to hire me to do the shows, that'd be great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we can talk about later.
Sure.
But I'm going to play Jerry for a quick minute. Can you give us a little snippet of something?
What would you like to hear? God knows I can sing.
Anything you feel like comfortable doing without any
All right,
stuff
I'll do my wife's favorite song called "The Wonder of You."
Oh, I love that song.
When no one else can understand me, when everything I do is wrong, you give me hope and consolation, you give me strength to carry on, and you're always there to lend a hand in everything I do. That's the wonder of you.
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So we were talking about falling. You were saying falling forward. What do you like to do when you want to relieve stress or something?
Hang out with my dog.
I
have a beagle.
Pet therapy
A beagle,
like the
Waldo
best
the
thing, right?
Magnificent. Waldo, he's my beagle. I've had him. We've had him for 11 years. I go out for a walk with him. It's helped me lose weight too because I used to be 310 pounds. And now I'm down to 230, and it's taken a while, but and I've lost a lot the past about 3 months through intermittent fasting and just changing my mindset. And my dog really was the catalyst because I was at home doing nothing and sitting around and unemployed at the time and all that stuff. And then we got Waldo when I used to be a dog trainer back in the day. We got Waldo, and that was it. We started walking, and I credit my dog for my weight loss. So that's what I like doing. I like going out for a walk with Waldo. Yeah, that's always good.
I don't know who you've got there that you might want to give a shout out to, but I like to say hey to Mark Katona and Rhea and Howard Gottlieb. And anybody you've got on there you want to say hello to. Also want to give a shout out to our other guests today that are all sick. Everybody's freaking sick right now. Just stay away from us. No, get better, everybody. We hope to have everybody back on 100% of their feet soon. So Marco, what's going on? Tell us what's going on. What's new, good, and exciting? What do you got for your inspirations for your people that watch your show? I mean, what do you want to tell them going forward into 2020?
Just keep hustling.
Yeah, right. Talking about life being a hustle, right?
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Moshe, you wanted to talk about some other things?
I will, but I'm laughing because the joke, we were talking about your dog before, and the joke was I fell in love with my fiance's dog and she came with the package. So.
Oh my God. My friend my best friend who happens to be Marco's aunt had just got she's going to be breeding French bulldogs.
Okay.
So she just got the male French bulldog His name is Al Pacino.
It's a bulldog.
And yeah, we call him Pacino. And his coloring is so beautiful, like spotted. Like you go over there and you just get such a great feeling when you pick him up. And he's getting to be a solid dog,
Right.
and he's small, but he's a cool dog.
No,
Pet therapy is amazing.
Now her dog was about 45 pounds. She was a combination shepherd. I really think they said golden retriever, but I think more of an Irish setter combination. And she really was a super dog.
I had a husky shepherd. I loved him. What a beautiful mix he
Yeah.
was.
So I keep laughing because dogs do make such a difference.
Yeah.
Whenever-
Oh yeah. Well,
He just
well,
laughs a lot.
Yeah, when I get stressed out, I used to. In fact, my fiance swore.
everywhere.
She swore I took a mortgage position at a certain place so I could be closer to her dog. So because if I got stressed out, I would go play with the dog. I'd go back to the house, play with the dog, and go to the office afterwards. So they really do make a difference.
Pet therapy is supposed to be great. Now they
Yeah.
got yoga with goats, and they got dogs and cats can
Yeah,
go
sure,
everywhere, and and people have pot-bellied pigs as pets.
She's so many weird things.
Cool. Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you the call-in number in case you want to call in. Maybe tell us what your goals are for 2020. I always see January as a planning month,
Right.
and once you get through the holidays and everything, you need January to just kind of regroup and hit the ground running in February. So, if you want to call in and tell us what you're doing for 2020, the number is 609-807-2492. It should be up on the screen also. And anyway, so Marco, getting back to your motivation for your teens. Tell us about your guys that you just met. I think they were here on the show, right? Nate and Les?
That's yeah.
Weren't they here on the last show?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do teen motivation also. What are you doing with them? Anything in particular?
Well, I'm really starting on with them. I'm just
In negotiations, right?
yeah. We're gonna get in together.
Yeah,
with Les,
yeah,
so,
we're gonna
So,
meet with Les this
yeah.
week, so we may have some good news to share with you soon. I'm looking at doing more collaborations in 2020 so that everybody can reach their goals.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and that's
Mosheh, you wanted to talk about the housing industry a
Yeah.
little bit?
My background for the last 4 years has been involved with nonprofit housing, a housing group where it's been in the education aspect, where we focus a lot on the classes are geared not exclusive to, but geared towards people who meet the low and moderate income guidelines. Now, I'm in Atlantic County. In Atlantic County, an individual earning $43,050 a year or less is considered moderate income. And there are all kinds of programs out there. So our class tries to explain the process of homeownership and reduce the intimidation factor as it relates to it. So, among other things, we have people come in and talk about different programs available to help with assistance for down payment and/or closing costs for people who meet the guidelines. By the way, one of the programs available all over New Jersey, not exclusive to Atlantic County, is through the New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency. They have a first-time homebuyer program. The rates are a little higher, but you can get up to $10,000 that you could use towards purchasing a home. And they put a lien on the property, so you have to be there for, I think, 3 years afterwards. But after that time, the amount is forgiven. And that's one way of being able to accomplish home ownership if you don't have all the money needed to purchase a place. Because what people don't realize is it's not just the cost of buying the home, which you need the down payment for. It's all the additional expenses as it relates to closing, whether it be the appraisal or the title and all the other things that go along with it, as well as escrow accounts, because they have in New Jersey and around the country for the most part, most mortgages are what we refer to as budget mortgages, which for those who remember Mr. T.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what was his?
I pity the fool who knows
Right,
him.
and pity the fool stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And so it's a budget mortgage which incorporates all that. So you need money for the escrow accounts, in addition to everything else. So it becomes challenging when you're two people earning $45,000 a year to come up with about $8,000 to $10,000 in monies to get into a home that may cost about $100,000.
Do you guys work with Habitat for Humanity at all?
No. I
No,
do.
it's
We
separate
do not.
organization,
It's a separate
right?
organization, and the
I love
philosophy
them,
and the philosophy is different. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish them well, and I agree, but it's a whole different animal. We're more
It's
involved
different,
with
just different,
we're more
yeah.
involved with helping to explain the process of home ownership, or to get homes to then sell to people who meet the low and moderate income guidelines. Whereas Habitat is more person involved in the actual process,
Yes.
and
Yeah, my
it's
friend's
more
in a
it's
Habitat
more
home.
charity direct.
Local.
Involved, but it's a great organization. I was involved with it about 20 years ago.
Awesome. We got Tom Jelinski Sr. watching, very good friend of mine, Henny Penny Corporation. Check them out. Diane Tercy and Shannon Segan, welcome, watching us. Marco, talk to us a little bit. What's going on with you for 2020? What are you looking at doing? What's your goals?
Make money.
What do you say, weight management?
Without that,
Make
you
money.
can't do nothing.
Money, okay.
No, I wanna grow my business. Actually, try to hustle more and try to get more gigs and more work.
It's funny how we talk
video.
about money because money isn't everything, but it certainly helps. Like one of the phrases our eWomen Network talks about is that it's really hard to be successful because you have to step up to the plate. People see you differently, blah, blah, blah. She said, but it's harder to be broke.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like right now, I work full time, painting, but like it's not what I like, but I do it because it helps me, and at least it'll help me get to where I want to go. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So what's going on at Boogie Nights? What do you got coming up?
Well, we got a lot. I'm actually there pretty much for every Friday night.
Is that
this
the only
month.
night that you're there?
Yeah, usually I'm there on Friday nights.
Okay, that's good to know.
I think I've taken over the mantle of Mr. Friday Night, which is really cool. If they want to make me Mr. Saturday Night, it's fine. No, my
Tropicana, listen to that.
Yeah, Tropicana. Pena Productions. Listen to that. Yeah. No, my buddy Brandon Jolly is amazing as Mr. Boogie. He's been there for many years and love him to death. And last night they just had Taylor Dane was there at Boogie Nights.
Really?
Yeah, she was with
That's my era.
My buddy. Yeah, my buddy Ryan was out there as Mr. MC Bubblegum. He dresses all in pink, and it's really cool. So, but I love my crew.
That must be
over
funny,
there.
right?
Yeah. What we're doing, I just did an Elvis show actually at Boogie Nights back in December. It was a very Elvis Christmas, and that was really cool. I think that was the first time they did any kind of Elvis thing there, so it was fun. Even though I'm called Elvis Estrada, but we're just doing a traditional Elvis kind of show. So that was fun.
That was his favorite holiday.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Christmas.
Christmas,
So it was a lot of fun. But at Boogie Nights, let's see what else we're doing. Well, I usually I've been dressing as George Michael once in a while, and I dye my it's a pomade I put in my hair and makes it gold, like his hair. And so I've been on the weight loss thing, and I make myself look like George Michael. Well, I'm going to be having pictures up soon, but I know our Freddie Mercury impersonator is going to be there at the end of the month, and he's there on a Friday and he's there on a Saturday, so I'm going to be hosting with him. And I'm like, you know what? I think we'll do the whole George Michael Freddie Mercury meets kind of thing. So
That'd be kinda
yeah,
cool.
because he did sing. George Michael sang "Somebody to Love" at the benefit for Freddie Mercury.
That was my wedding song.
Great song. So. My friend Dan Barella out there. Dan Barella. So I want to mention Dan Barella and I. We are a group that we used to be called the Dream Kings. We used to be a part of a quartet of former Elvis impersonators or Elvis tribute artists, whatever you want to call us. ETAs. So Dan and I are the last two men standing so far. We have like guests come with us, but Dan and I are the last two. So he's talking about some possible names that were coming up for us, and one of the names was vocal poetry. But we would be dressing essentially like Bob Ross with like curly perm wigs, and the other thing was which I came up with was Ruben and Dan duet with you instead of so that was our little thing. But no, we're going to be doing a show in Brick, a fundraiser for the firemen in Laurelton. That's going to be sometime in either April or May. We haven't decided on the date yet, so we're getting that. And for myself, I was telling Mosheh before and Marco before about this new thing called retro shows that I started up within Unplugged Entertainment. And retro shows are essentially one of the guys is called That 70s Guys. And essentially it's a tribute to all the singers like Engelbert Humperdinck and Tom Jones and everyone from the 70s, Kenny Rogers. And the other venture is it's called Faith and Freedom, which is the George Michael tribute. And it's for fans of the 90s, it's 80s and 90s that love George Michael's music. And then the other thing is called Elvis Estrada's Disco Inferno party, which is a big goal, where I'll be emceeing parties and all that stuff as the Elvis Estrada character. And it's all disco music, it's taken from the Boogie Nights. It was, a little thing.
And they're
from
3
them.
separate shows, correct?
Yeah, they're 3 separate shows under the title of retro shows.
Retro shows.
Yeah, so I'm going to be.
And where are they going to be?
We're it's
booking them out?
We're going to be booking them out right
Okay,
now. So
cool.
I'm very, very excited about that. And then I have an Elvis show over at the Spanish Potato Grill over in Brick.
I was gonna say, where is that?
Yeah, it's over in Brick. They make awesome Portuguese and Spanish food.
Oh, we got to go there.
Oh yeah, they're
Let's
doing
all
a
go
steak.
there.
They're
Where's
doing
that?
It's in
Bricktown.
Brick,
Yeah.
New Jersey. Yeah, it's they make it's a steak dinner night. It's $43 per person. You have to get your tickets in advance, and they usually sell out
You should go.
like within weeks.
I'll take that off.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday
We'll have
night.
to
It's a lot of fun. It's all Elvis music.
Is it every Wednesday or is it?
No, there's gonna be we usually do. I haven't done a show there in a couple of years, mainly because of the injury and all stuff.
And what's
but
the name of the place again, so people can look
Spanish Potato Grill
it up? In Brick.
in Brick.
When did they start calling it Brick? We always grew up with it as Bricktown.
Yeah, I think they, with the shortening of languages like LAMAO and all stuff,
Yeah,
it
they
now became
shorten
Brick.
everything anymore. Everybody's too lazy to
Hi,
open their
Josephine.
mouth.
Hi, Josephine, and hi, Terry. Hi, how are you guys?
Yeah, Marianne Damiano. Hello, girlfriend. So that's pretty cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the Nightlife Awards coming up?
Yes.
Without breaking your glasses.
Sure. No, I know that. I just bought these glasses on Amazon. These are my boogie. I didn't wear my Elvis glasses because I knew I was going to be doing this, but
It's that thing, right? When you put them on, like,
yeah, just kind of, it's the hair. It's always moving,
Yeah.
So, and this is my real hair, everyone, by the way. It's like Santa
That's what my
Claus,
friend Ted
right?
used to say. It's my real
It's
hair.
the real thing. I mean, I do put dye once in a while in it, but I'm not ashamed to say my age. I'm 46 years old, and I still have my hair, and I still have pretty much
still a
all my
young
So
puppy.
I know a lot of people in the entertainment industry don't like to talk about their age and all that stuff, but I'm proud of my age. And
Yeah. It's only a
That's what
number,
I say.
like
Yeah,
my
it's only
mom
a number.
says. It's only a number.
Hi, Angela. So the Nightlife Awards are on February 20th over at Boogie Nights in the Tropicana. It's all of Atlantic City. It's from Atlantic City Weekly. Last year, I know Boogie Nights won Best Club Dancers and Best something else. I can't
We
remember.
will be there this year.
Yeah,
I know
it's gonna be fun.
Michelle Tomko's up for a Nightlife Award. Best
And what is that
comedian
about?
around. Say that again?
what is that about?
It's all the different industries, like best bar, best restaurant, best DJ, best band.
Best MC.
It's I guess
Cheers, the band is up.
From
Ken
Tropicana.
Schaefer.
Hear that, Tropicana?
I think the theme is the best of the best. I think that's the theme.
Something
Right,
like
yeah,
that.
the best of the best, yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are always up for it, and then you go
Yeah.
online and
your
vote.
phone
You
real
can
quick?
vote now. Up
Yeah,
to,
you
oh
can.
no, I think the voting
Oh,
ended yesterday.
I'll see your phone real quick.
What?
I'll see your phone real quick.
Why?
I'll see something.
Shout out to Polixeni. She's watching us. She has a show here at Hamilton
Oh,
Radio.
yes.
I
Yeah,
think
right.
Polixeni. I don't want to get this wrong. I think it's on Tuesdays, but you can always call in here or check out HamiltonRadio.net so that you can see when the other different shows are. And fun
Well, there's
to have
this
you watch
thing,
it.
I guess that only iPhones have it, but like they have a thing where you can like do like a Ava. I'm showing you where you can have like a own show and like your friends can see you on Facebook. Like,
I don't know.
just your
I'm looking
friends
at
will see it.
I'm looking at the comments. I don't know how to. I'm not that savvy with doing that.
Well, apparently I was trying to look at yours, but
Okay.
apparently the iPhones only have it. I don't know.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying I was trying to do it to your phone because
Yeah, that's
apparently there's more views doing it that way.
cool. All right, we'll figure
So-
it out. We'll have to figure that one out.
We need to see the views. You know what I mean?
Ruben, you'll
I
help
was just
us
like,
figure that one
keep it
out.
up and maybe iPhone will become a sponsor.
Yeah. Thank you, iPhone.
So, Moshe, tell us what kinds of people, and don't say everyone, what kinds of people get the most benefit out of the chair? Like, I know you like to work with ballet dancers and athletes.
There are
and-
different. Yeah, there are different people who can see benefits more frequently or more passionately than most, and that's people who like to perform. And the reason I say that is because that's right, Elvis.
Right?
That's right. That's you. But seriously, the reason for it, and it could be dancers, it could be models, etc. And the reason I say that is not because you do models, but many times when you're about to perform, the night before, whatever, you have butterflies. You have trouble sleeping, so you don't get your full rest. You're now performing or doing whatever you're doing, not at your best. So because of that, and one of the benefits of the chair is by helping people relax, they usually sleep better. I can't say that it's a fact. We haven't done FDA
Right.
testing, but people usually sleep better after they've relaxed. And so because of that, if they get a good night's rest, they're usually better chance to perform at a higher level than they might otherwise. And the other aspect I mentioned is even the day of the performance afterwards, many times they're so excited, exuberant afterwards, they have trouble sleeping because of the excitement from what they've already done. And here's another way to help them relax and possibly go to sleep instead of 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I've said this about the modeling industry. We did something in New York years ago. A friend of mine, Diane Seo, had us up right around this time about 6 years ago. And I've said this before that for models, especially after they finish performance, many times they're into
Baseball.
Sorry.
they have such a high level that they
Baseball.
may get involved with different
This
types
is the
of
fun show, everyone. The fun show.
it's
The
a
fun show.
Yeah, this is fun.
Throwing waters.
Water.
Ruben throwing waters at us. Thank you, Ruben.
But anyways, on a serious note, many times people will go out drinking or whatever, and I'm not saying this in a negative way or in a nefarious way, but as a way to try to help calm down. And especially as you get older, we don't metabolize alcohol as well as we do when we're younger. So this is one of the ways to help deal with that exuberance afterwards to get back into a normal routine. So I think that's why they would see a benefit more than most in the sense of what takes place because they're so weight conscious.
I want to give a shout out to my homies, Susan and Mark Berman. Hello, welcome, Susan.
Oh, you're kind of the hood over here. You're the hood over here.
Right, my homies. What were you gonna say? I want to know.
Oh, I was gonna tell him about the chair. What I've gotten on it. Like
I was gonna say for teens.
I used to get a lot of
right?
I used to get a lot of migraines when I was in high school, and when I met him, right, I used to share the chair, and like my migraines went away. Remember I told you, right? There's one time when my migraine was a 10. Remember? One time my migraine was a 10.
Wow.
I got on the chair and I was like more relaxed.
Yeah, you feel like you've gotten some sleep when you come off the chair because I feel like.
Oh, I feel sleepy afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you feel sleep because you
And
feel
well,
like
part of the reason you'll feel
I sleep
sleepy.
during it, too.
Well, it's the same. It's excuse the analogy because it's not a medication, but the same way. You and I are not that far apart in age, but when we were younger, there was a medicine out there called Darvocet. So you had a problem with your back or muscle problem, you would take Darvocet and you would get sleepy. Not the medicine itself could make you sleepy, but because the pain is gone, one of the things that kept you awake was the discomfort that you had. Once you remove that discomfort, you then become tired because your body was already tired, and you fall asleep. And I use the chair as the same analogy. If someone has discomfort and you remove it, that discomfort may have kept them awake, and now they can finally get some of the rest that they need.
Yeah, I like that. I'd rather use a more natural way to alleviate any pain than taking any medication. I'm not
The
into
chair.
that, Yeah, the chair is great. You got to try it. Have you tried it?
No,
Oh, you
no.
have to
The
try
only
it.
chair
It's
I've been in is the electric chair.
Yeah.
Well, if you had, you would be
No,
here.
well, maybe no.
And you still have your real hair.
And I still have my real hair. God knows, no.
One of my friends who's a boxer who used a chair talked about how what makes it effective, especially when you're in a physical sport, because you have internal bruises as opposed to the external. And he said a massage works from the outside in, which is why it's difficult to do a massage afterwards. Because your chair works from the inside out, and that's what makes
interesting.
it more effective.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I love that chair. I wish you would have brought it with us so we
know.
could have tried it after.
Next time.
Next time. So we'll have you back
Fit in
again.
your car.
Yeah, I think he's got the portable one. the
I have a
smaller
portable one.
Yeah.
Oh, you have another one?
That's one you've been on. Is the portable.
Yeah, it's a portable.
It's about
folds right
40.
up.
It's about 42 pounds.
Folds
Oh,
right up.
that's the
Fit
portable.
in
That's the
car.
portable.
So there's another
Right in the
one.
car, baby.
Oh yeah, we have a furnace model which I affectionately refer to as the electric chair. But that's because you push a button and it puts you right into the position automatically.
You just can't move it, right?
You can't move much. You're right.
That's awesome.
So we I want to talk about our friend a little bit, our International Hall of Fame radio host, Jerry Petito. So she is on 5 different radio shows and international. So I got a surprise working for her, but I just can't get it ready. So as soon as I get it ready, Jerry, you'll get it, but you're just gonna have to wait.
We love you.
And might have it for next Christmas. couldn't get out there.
It's only a few months.
But Jerry's just so I love the fact that she's a connector like we are, and she brings people together. And that's one of the things I love in life is bringing people together. And Jerry and I hit it off right away because of that. So she's just an amazing lady. So if you get a chance to tune into one of her shows, again, check it out at HamiltonRadio.net.
I hope she's on our next show. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
seen
she
her in a
could.
while.
She's doing some stuff today. I mean, everybody's got something going on today
I
with
know.
the Super Bowl going on. So, any Super Bowl fans? You got any your team in the game today?
No, I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah, Steelers. I know you're not into it really. You have a team that you like best. You like Eagles, right? Eagles fan? No.
I like soccer.
Soccer. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Moshe, you?
If I'm going to support a team, it would be the Eagles.
The
and,
Eagles?
And I do hope, because of the connection and seriously all that he's gone through personally and professionally, that Kansas City wins today, that Andy Reid gets to see a Super Bowl ring on his finger, because God knows he really deserves it for
Yeah.
all he's encountered, with the family loss and all the other,
sure.
issues. So I'm really rooting for Kansas
At
City
the-
for that reason.
I went to this new church in near where I live at EHT in Egg Harbor Township, the Fusion Church. It's like a non-denomination church,
yeah,
right?
non-denominational.
So I went. When did I go?
A couple days ago.
Obviously, it wasn't today.
I think it was Friday night.
Yeah, no,
it was
yeah.
it was fight night. It's like this thing they do every year or every month at this church, and they brought the chaplain for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nice.
In 2016, all the members of Philadelphia Eagle got baptized.
Oh, wow.
And in 2018, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So this guy, and then he was preaching and talking and everything. He's a pastor too, and he was preaching, and then he was like, he has a Super Bowl ring, and he's like, oh, this looks good in the light, and he was shining it. So like
Wow.
he's gotten us. Yeah, it was pretty cool knowing him. He's a pastor, but he's a chaplain for the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's cool.
By the way, let me just make a point. The reason what people don't know is for us to be here when we arrived this morning, the likelihood is whoever's going to church is going to church later today, not early this morning, because service wouldn't have been early enough to make that happen. So it was not a shot at you at all. I just want to make sure
I
I'm
didn't
clear
get
about
that at all, but it's all good.
Yeah, in case someone else did, I want to make sure I was clear that you said I went to church.
about the Philadelphia Eagles, so I was like,
No,
I
I
got
hear
to
you.
meet the guy that works for the
No, I hear you, but you
Eagles,
said
so that was cool.
but you're trying to figure out when you went to church, and I said not today because of how early we left, and that's
now
why
I get it.
Oh,
That's
gotcha,
why.
gotcha.
So I apologize. By the
No,
way,
I don't go to your church.
all I can say is
I-
thank God there wasn't a rabbi who became the chaplain. They all had to get circumcised.
Oh my god! But no, that was
Go
pretty
there.
cool. That was
Had to go
pretty cool though. Yeah.
I couldn't resist.
Oh my gosh. My husband's a huge Eagles fan. He likes all
I
sports,
like
but-
him just because I get my free coffee on Dunkin' Donuts.
My
Right?
husband's a
Why
huge
not?
Eagles
Right?
fan, so I say I'm a Steelers fan. So we sit on opposite ends of the couch, but we're still in the same state.
Yeah.
But how often do the two teams play against each other? I think once every 2 years, maybe.
Yeah,
So-
something like that. Yeah. So any favorite today on the game?
I'm looking at the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Chiefs,
yeah,
too.
there's a connection there because Pat Mahomes Jr., his father is Pat Mahomes Sr., and who played baseball. He was a baseball player for the Mets. Even though I'm a Yankees fan, I'm a huge baseball fan, and so I thought it was really neat. And I didn't know that Pat Mahomes Jr., the quarterback for the Chiefs, he was a baseball player until his junior year of high school. And then that's when he went over to football. I thought it was pretty neat that he could switch over, and he's so young as a quarterback to be now in the Super Bowl. I think that's pretty awesome. So,
I hear you saying he was a baseball player. Remind me of Springsteen lyrics from Glory Days.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting there going, he was a baseball player back
Yeah.
in high school.
the boss, God.
That's great. So
Yeah.
you're rooting for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm rooting
Yeah,
for
I
the
think I'm
Chiefs.
going to root for the Chiefs too. Although our teams are out of it, so I just want to go have some fun, watch the game. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to do today. Be with some friends.
Same thing with the Andy Reid thing. I mean, my second favorite city in the world is Philadelphia. So, just in general, I love Philadelphia.
What's your first favorite city?
I
You
love
knew the
New
second
York,
favorite
yeah.
right off the top of your head.
Well, Atlantic City always right now, but
Atlantic City.
but no, I mean, I would have to say, well, Baltimore. I love Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
itself, despite all the bad rap that these cities. But
I know it's crazy
yeah.
some of the bad rap
Even
cities
my-
get,
yeah,
and
people
it's
used-
so nice to go. New Orleans,
Yeah.
New York City, even
Yeah.
melting pot of the
But
world.
yeah, but you can
LA.
at least walk in New York City.
And you can walk
Yeah.
in L.A.
Yeah, but you can get. New York is the safest city to walk in.
Really?
You
I
can
don't
walk.
know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Really?
it's one
Maybe-
of the safest city where you can less get robbed or less like
Really? That's
get
I,
hurt.
I think the statistic you're quoting.
that's a new
I
statistic.
think the statistic is based on size of
I've experienced
cities.
it. I walked in
No,
New
no,
York at
I know.
2, 5, 4 in the morning, and I've never.
I guess it
gotten-
depends where you
like,
walk.
I'm not
too.
gonna
Same
see
thing
somebody
for Atlantic
sketchy.
City or,
True,
You
yeah.
know, it depends on where you're walking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just don't think New York. I mean, New York City could be
It depends. Yeah,
could be
right
the
in the
safest,
city.
But I don't.
Midtown is.
I went
It's
to
safer
Los
than-
Angeles,
yeah.
and even in
Yeah.
Hollywood, there was weird people. Like you know, not people
You
that
have to just know
you're
where
not
to
gonna
walk,
feel
yeah.
comfortable in the environment. Like I feel comfortable when I go to New York City.
Cool.
Yeah.
No Oscar for you.
That's
I
next.
could get one in the future
No.
though. A couple years.
Yeah, never know. They're all big cities. They're all
Yeah.
major cities. You know, it's cool. I love to go. I love to walk around New York City.
Yeah.
And I like Atlantic City. I love the boardwalk.
Yeah.
I grew up in Seaside on the boardwalk. You know.
Yeah, Atlantic
so
City, honestly,
also gets a bad rap
Atlantic
sometimes.
City, you can't walk in.
Well, the boardwalk's fine.
I love
Not
the
2
board-
or
I
3 in the
love-
morning.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not like it used
like
to be.
years
Even in
ago,
Seaside,
I remember
it's not like it used
one of
to
my
be.
old high school teachers said that she used to walk there, right? She used to come if she wanted to have some free time or whatever after college or whatever, she would go and walk in the boardwalk and it was safe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At 12 at night, 11 at night, by yourself. Now it's like you have to be careful or you'll see somebody sketchy.
Yeah.
I think that's more society because years ago, and I'm saying this because I know that you were at one point a New Yorker. Coney Island was a place you could go and walk.
my grandmother grew up.
and you could walk it late at night, and then things changed, and you couldn't do that. So,
My mother grew up there too.
so that's my point. I think it's there. This is a sign of the times. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
not
fact that-
particularly blamed on the city.
Well, I
Right.
feel it's not. I feel like Atlantic is not good for like tourists. A lot of tourists. You know what I mean? People who
Well, I
live
think
there,
there's a lot of
then
revitalization
They
going
know
on. Yes.
about the place. You know.
You know, there's a lot. I mean, I
Because
know,
I know
the
somebody
other big
who
cities,
I know
but-
somebody who told me that they work at the casinos, right? And people's like, I don't want to get out of the casino. I'm just gonna stay in the casino. Like he works in the casinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the tourists ask him if there's any place where he can order food at because he doesn't want to leave the casino. He's only coming to Atlantic City for the casino, not for the city. So it's like
Mm-hmm. Right.
the tourists are scared to walk out the streets.
Well, that's true, but I think that's part of you're saying
Yeah.
getting a bad rap. I mean, I know there's
Yeah.
a lot of revitalization
Yeah.
going on in a lot of cities, but especially in Atlantic City. So that's
It's interesting because I talk about this in the Elvis Unplugged shows. It has to do a lot, and there has been some studies about this ever since the 70s, that when that message used to come on TV on Channel 5 in the New York City area, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, I remember that.
Ever since then, we've become a more paranoid
Society.
society, yeah.
I think
closed in, yeah.
that evolves with time. I mean, I think we've become more paranoid since 9/11 too.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
You know, in lots of ways, but you know, they say you can't be afraid.
Yeah.
Like I know people that won't even leave their house because they're afraid to go outside. I
Sure.
mean, how do you live your life like that?
Yeah.
To me, I mean, you can't be afraid. You know, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. But you have to try to conquer your fears and live your life. You know,
Sure.
that's all we can do, right?
But it's also the time that you refer to the 70s. That's the time, the era when more and more women went into the professional fields, were out of the house. You didn't have the two. You had hopefully a two-parent household, but you didn't have both parents home all the
Yeah,
time,
that's
or at least
different
one
today,
parent
too.
home all the time. And that occurred around the 70s, which I think also lent itself towards that situation. You know, okay, you're now home. Do you know where your kids are? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think that's why I had greater residence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we just got more, it got more and more paranoid over the years. And then, the 80s with the latchkey kids. And it seems like now when people say, oh, you're so into your kids right now. I mean, I don't have any kids except for Waldo. But when I see, some of my friends who are, have kids, they kind of like close them in a little bit because of that, mentality of that came from their parents, that they didn't want to be alone because they were maybe latchkey kids. And so they kind of watch after their kids a little bit more than, say, their parents who were both working, so I think it's pretty
The
interesting.
term they use is called helicopter parents.
Yeah, they
Yes,
hover.
yes.
Would you like to say hello to Mr. Rome? He's watching us.
I love you,
Mr.
man.
Rome,
I love you.
We love you. Thanks for checking in with us. So what else we got going on? What's everybody's goals for the new year? We've got a little bit of time left to see. What are you looking at accomplishing in 2020?
losing or weight. Actually, I'm getting down to my goal weight. My wife just had bariatric surgery, gastric sleeve, and she's
Yeah, we need some people
yeah
that have that
within
done.
20. She's only been out of it for about 2 weeks, 2.5
Oh,
weeks,
how's she
and she's
doing?
lost 25 pounds almost. It's and my wife was not a heavy woman or anything like that. It's no, she was always great looking, but she wanted to get this done for health reasons and all stuff, and so made me look at my life because I'm like I want to get down to 180 pounds, and
Is that good for you? Because I'm not good
Yeah.
with like what you're supposed to be. For your
yeah,
height.
like
But-
yeah, about
That's the
between
best.
170 and 180, you
Yeah.
know, around there. So I think
My height
that's
is like 160.
For what, yes.
Yeah,
good.
so, you know,
Same
I'm
Yeah.
180.
yeah. I mean, that's what I want to get to. You know, I want to look good because the characters I'm creating in these shows, you know, and plus having the stamina, you know, to keep up
Sure,
and,
the
and do all
stamina's
this stuff. So I
important
think
when
that's
you're
that,
on stage like
And it's
that.
hard, but
That's
you
like for
know,
your painting. You know, you
Yeah.
have to do those exercises so you can endure painting for
Yeah.
8, 10, 12 hours
And
straight.
painting, you have to like use arm.
Right,
and
arms have
work.
to be
You're
strong.
painting the ceiling like.
Yeah, I was about to say the positions you're in could definitely, even though you're not a dancer, I don't know what you do on the side, but you're not a dancer professionally.
whoa.
Professionally,
I'm a good Christian kid.
No,
So.
no. But the point is that so much of your work has to do with your arms,
Yeah.
your shoulder, your
Well,
neck.
even when
and so
I'm
forth.
working, like recording a video or doing a video or
Yeah, you have
something,
to.
I'm using my hands.
Right.
You know, and the camera weighs at least 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you're there for an hour or 2 hours recording, your
Sure.
hands gonna get tired.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
jobs that you stand up too, not necessarily physical work. I know when we do events, you're standing up the whole day. You don't ever get a chance to sit down, so your body's like really breaking down by the end of the day. We see Polixeni for that because she shows us how to correct our
Oh yeah,
posture.
okay. Posture.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Polixeni, if you're still watching, we need you after we do all these hard, enduring things, even if they're
I
just
love her.
standing up
Oh,
for a
she's
long
really
time. Oh,
cool.
she's great, isn't she? I love her. I love her. Moshe, your goals for the new year? Anything? you
Goals
wanna
for New
share?
Year.
You gonna get married?
Uh,
You're finally gonna get married?
Okay, we'll leave that one alone. No, it would be to continue the thrill of seeing, I think, about 15 people we've helped towards homeownership.
Oh, that's cool.
In the past couple of years, people who just never expected it to occur. It's just a great feeling, and hopefully through the education classes. And what makes it special from our perspective is we cover the issues, such as the fact that people have credit issues. So some of these people who are in our class aren't ready to buy right away, but they may be ready to buy 2 or 3 years later, right? To continue in that trend and to help increase homeownership in Atlantic City and many other areas. In typical areas, you have 2/3 homeowners, 1/3 renters. In Atlantic City and some other areas that are considered blighted, it's the other way around. It's 1/3 owners and 2/3
yeah?
renters.
Really?
And so, if we can help change that
pretty cool.
ratio, one homeowner at a time, it's a great feeling. So that would be my goal for the year through the education.
And we know yours is just making money, right?
Oh yeah, I wanna continue with my business too. You know, try to grow it.
I know you like to give back. You don't volunteer at the pantry, right? And
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start doing a couple more volunteer work too.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. I like working with the nonprofits.
give back
and-
too.
Yeah. I want to focus a little more in the new year working with the nonprofits that I work with, especially the National Brain Tumor Society, one of my favorite organizations. But there's many out there that we work with through our Avas eye bags to give back. We have 12 charities out of 21 that we're looking for to support once we get all that in place. I mean, we've
I
been
have
working
one.
on this project for 2 years, and we're still not quite where we need to be with it. But you have one too.
I have one. I
Yeah, tell
work
me.
for, as I said in the beginning of the show, I work for a company called CVR, the Center for Vocational Rehabilitation. For many years, I was working within the welfare division and then as a job coach, helping people with special needs get jobs. Now I'm being transitioned into marketing and for our company and marketing and fundraising, and we are having a golf outing on June 16th. It's a Tuesday in June. The website is called cvrus.org.
I was just going to ask you about that.
I'm going to be getting some more information about that because we are making some changes. But if there's anybody who knows a low-level celebrity, a D-list, maybe even an athlete that wants to give back to a charitable cause, we are looking for golfers. And I, in particularly, am looking for someone like an athlete to come and join our golf outing on the 16th, because I think it's a really great way to have people come out and be a part of our golf outing and supporting our production center and our goals for getting people out there, meaningful employment. So.
Well, we're getting ready to wrap up in a couple minutes. You want to look for your Bible verse while we ask you, how would somebody reach out to you, whether it be for the golf tournament or whatever? How does somebody find you?
Sure. You can contact me at rcastillo@cbrus.org. So it's RCASTILLO at cbrus.org, or you can call me at 732-544-1800. And I don't have a new phone extension, but you can try extension 224, or you can just talk with our receptionist, and she can get in touch with me for any information on that.
Awesome. And you can always find any of our guests through myself or Marco. Find us on Facebook, or you can find me at Avas iBags, that's bags with a Z.com, or 4astar.biz, the number 4astar.biz. The .com is in reconstruction right now, so 4astar has the .biz for right now, but avasibags.com, 4astar.biz. Mr. Panting, how would somebody reach you? Facebook, Instagram?
Just Facebook now.
Facebook?
I kind of took everything away and just kept one thing.
Okay.
So just Marco Panting, my personal Facebook, and then my business Facebook page is Mr. Panting Productions.
Awesome. And Mosheh, how would somebody find you?
They can reach me on Facebook and or LinkedIn.
Okay.
And in fact, if they go to either site, I do include my cell phone number and email address.
And they find you under Mosheh Math?
Yes, they do. Mosheh Math, Mosheh is my first name. Math, like the subject, is my last name.
Awesome. All right. So in closing, Marco, you're gonna close us up with a Bible verse?
Yeah. Palms 119 105. Your word is a lamp for my feet and light on my path.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, we are here the first Sunday of every month. Normally, it's Avas Casual Chat, followed by Teens with Dreams. But we are combined today, so we can all get home, watch the game, or go do something fun on this beautiful Sunday. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next month.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Teens with dreams. Teens with dreams.